Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Once again, I'm Ned from Ned's Tech Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. One of the first things I ever heard from Operation Sundog, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act of 1982, was there was a hacker that wouldn't break. You couldn't break him at all until they mentioned you physically hurt computer systems. You hurt these computers and these networks. And the guy was brought to tears because he legitimately loves these systems. He had respect for the systems and how they operated. And the thought of him causing chaos to this broke his heart. No, they weren't living things, but to him it was an important, complex structure. Now, I have a hard time thinking that anyone's targeting any kind of technology other than Apple just because of their CEO. And let's face it, Apple's got some good stuff. They got some shit, but they got some good stuff. They've done some good stuff. We wouldn't be where we are without Apple. We wouldn't be where we are without Tesla. But let's face it, Apple's probably done a lot more than Tesla has. But in and of itself, Tesla has pushed forward the technology of environmental vehicles, and we should at least appreciate that enough to shut the frick up. I feel strongly like this is the situation where an old Christian family has given all kinds of money to their granddaughter, and the granddaughter's growing up within an education system that teaches them to hate the same grandparents that gave her everything. Tell me this doesn't happen. I remember a long time ago, I heard from a really intelligent person that it's so easy to tear things down. Like, if you're reviewing something, it is easy to tear something down. But if you're bringing it up, if you're trying to give it props, it is much harder and you look so much worse, which is why it's easy to shoot on people. And let's face it, people would rather see people shooting on people or stories or things than actually bringing them up and saying what's good about them. So let's face it, Elon sucks. His parents, I'm not even touching that. He's the CEO. Like, if we want to tie everything to the CEO, then Apple guys, you need to tell me your excuse for the Lisa. There is no excuse for the Lisa. As a father who almost lost his daughter, I can't put that in a box. I can't compartmentalize that. He's such a freaking monster. Steve Jobs is such a freak. Why aren't you still mad at Steve Jobs? It freaking messed him up in the head so much that he made another computer that nobody wanted to compete with their other systems that were already like all over the market. It's like, wait, is there nuance in that? Because Steve Jobs denied his daughter, and Elon was denied by his daughter. The reason why he bought Twitter was because his daughter was taken from him by the social justice warriors. So Dave Thomas, the gentleman that owned Wendy's, I read his biography because I thought it was kind of funny he made a biography, and I respected him so much, and it gave me a profound respect for certain Christians, not all, certain Christians, because Dave had a saying, and he said that most Christians will wear their cross right here, but a real Christian will do this. Don't mind the tattoo, just forget about it. They'll do that. They'll roll their sleeves up. Well, Dave Thomas said, guy who owned Wendy's, said they'll roll their sleeves up and be like, all right, let's get to work. What can we do? How can I help the community? What's going on? What's going on? Like, that's what they do. And that is an issue I see with the social justice warriors and Tesla protesters. Okay, guys, you want to go out there and complain because of Elon. Okay, so here's what we need next. Tesla has some good things to it. It's environmental. It's great for the environment. The environment could use our hand right now, right? Because we got a lot of big issues that are going to swallow our children, have the potential to swallow our children. We need to do something about this. So let's not just take out the Tesla. Let's give ideas of alternatives and reasons why they're good alternatives. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's roll up our sleeves and be like, hey, don't go to Tesla. Go to Ford and get the Volt. Go to Honda and get the hybrid. Do this, this, and this. Not just don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Guys, we're living in a society that has so many ideas and rules that it's so difficult to do anything. Anything. It's so difficult that now, in most of the Commonwealth, except for America, it's coming your way. Reasonable middle class people can't afford houses. This is hell for people within the house. Mental health issues happen especially to the poor, especially to the poor. Now, these poor people will often have daughters, and OnlyFans, the porn industry. Guys, they're getting thrown out there harder and harder. Like, we have a personal responsibility to make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen, right? Nobody can afford housing anymore. So, yeah, people are being forced to do bad things. Because there's so many rules, we can't build new houses. In Canada, building a house, like, geez, at least 1/3 of the price goes to bureaucrats. The bureaucrats make more money than the individuals that build, and the people who build are pretty well paid. And if you can't find any more, hey, let's just bring in some immigrants because we can treat them really badly, right? So we need to break the system down. We have so many rules. And I legitimately think that if we just did a thing from, instead of doing all these things, just kind of switching over to Buddhism, and because I'll tell you what, Bobby. I was talking with a social justice warrior about intersectionality and sexes and this, and I'm a this and that, and also this, and we need to love each other and accept each other for our intersectionality and better. Man, it was complicated. It's complicated, and the the funny thing is, the person that was talking about this, right behind them, has a poster that said Namaste, which is a dumbed down version of all of that bullshit. That's basically, you do you. I will respect you. And you go on your journey. And that's how Buddhism takes everything. It takes like 5 million lines of code and brings it down to like 20. Just don't frickin' mess with each other. Be okay with each other. Like, you got your lists of, yeah, you're all that stuff. You're a snowflake. We call you snowflake. We're all snowflakes. We're all, yeah, whatever. Get out of here. Go enjoy that with your rich friends and whatnot. Legitimately. But here's the difficult part. What if you had the responsibility for those rules that you're making? And what if you have to live under those rules? And all of a sudden, your house is harder to find. Now, at the end of this is a responsibility that I hope everyone has when they go out to protest these beautiful cars, because some jackass who joined the scene suddenly decided he wanted to run shit from the ground up a little bit differently. Legit, I'm not sure about that guy and his X many hours working. Wow, that's unhuman, Elon. But anyways, what should we switch to? What should we switch to? I'm sure you know the best car to switch to. That gets the best gas, that gets the best, and that gets the best, you know? And I'm sure you're not the type of person to say, oh yes, but you should bike everywhere. How am I going to get my daughter to Sick Kids Hospital on a bike? Trains don't come through my village anymore. Greyhound doesn't work anymore. It doesn't come through anymore. You know how much it is to get a taxi? Namaste. Namaste. Stop messing with cars. Tesla cars are beautiful. Tesla cars are beautiful. America's beautiful. Some of the people in it got some really bad ideas, but just as long as they aren't hurting each other or themselves, God bless you. In a northern, God bless you. You southerners and your God bless you are really frickin' confusing. You gotta stop that. I don't understand your sarcasm, but I love you. And I don't care how big your boobs are, I still want to see them. Anyways, that's it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, spread the love. Legitimately, spread the love. Don't just spread hate. Sometimes you can spread hate in a gun that says love. Or, you know, you shoot a flamethrower with a thing that says water on the side. You're not shooting water regardless of how much you believe it. That only works for spiritual things. It's not a that's definitely not a manifest destiny. There's some things you just can't really manifest. Oh man, could you imagine that? Jesus with a flamethrower that shot wine. Oh, which was technically blood. And a grenade launcher of buns of bread. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, I hope I didn't spread too much hate in this because that wasn't my thing. I'm just not used to people who love Mother Earth uh, going against tools that would help her. Because Mother Earth has some nice big titties, and I love them. Have a good one, folks. See you later.